Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4.
It's Friday.
June
We're
1st.
excited.
June 1st.
That's right. Happy June. Happy June.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, I know. Summer's here. Feels great.
It really is. And Michael Bruno, I don't know if you can hear him in the background. He'll be along.
How can you not hear him?
He goes backstage with the Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is playing at the Capitol Theater.
Oh, I thought we were going to get a shot of, because Charlotte's there with, oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Imagine if you will.
Blame Charlotte.
Yeah.
And we'll wrap things up with Lola.
Yeah, we have a fun show. Terrence Carey is going to be here from Second City. Madison West High School grad is going to join us, and we're going to take you live to the big festival at the Yahara Bike Trail Boardwalk Bridge.
The longest bike trail in North America.
Yeah, fun summer weekend.
Bike bridge.
Bike bridge, yes.
Not trail.
Right.
All right. We'll find out more about that, but first, here's what's making news today. It's back on again, at least for now. President Trump says he's headed for a June 12th meeting with the North Korean dictator. It's
been a very busy and painful week on the interstate between Beloit and Madison with accidents, and another one happened this morning in the construction zone, and there's still a lot of summer left to go.
Yeah, what a mess. And if you're suffering from allergies right now, blame the snows of April. Amanda Quintana explains.
Let's take a look outside today. It was another great day, sunny and warm, still a little humid.
Started out nice and clouds came in, and now I guess it's sunny again. This is the Wisconsin River. It's a good place to be this weekend, I think. The weather words for today, not like last weekend. That's good. Dave Caulfield is in the backyard. Things cooled off a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I think we can all agree it's better than last weekend weather-wise, with temperatures in the 90s last weekend. We're going to be closer to the 70s this weekend. Visible cloud track showing not too many clouds left over from our morning cloudiness, and that helped keep things definitely a little bit on the cool side, along with that lake breeze. Right now in Platteville, not looking at too many clouds at all. We're seeing blue skies. Wind speeds have been a major factor in the forecast for today. You could see a little bit closer to Lake Michigan out of the north at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Look at these temperatures along the lakeshore, only in the 50s in Milwaukee, 70s. We're up to double sevens in Madison, and for southwestern Wisconsin, not as affected by that lake breeze, still in the mid 80s. That's a huge temperature change, especially in spots like Milwaukee, 31 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. Dew points are still a little bit high, but temperatures are down, so it doesn't feel as humid outside. A live look in Madison at our very blue, sunny skies right now on our WISC-TV SkyCam. Your forecast first as we head into this evening. Temperatures will be dipping into the 60s with mostly clear skies. Now let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. We're taking a live look at Todd Drive and the Beltline right now. As you might expect, we're seeing those normal delays on the eastbound Beltline, especially for a Friday. So those delays are going to start piling up even more. The Beltline from west to east not looking too bad, closer to Gammon Road, but Fish Hatchery, we are starting to see those delays, and not too bad at the present time closer to Stoughton Road. Now, here are your drive times for Roanoke Road to John Nolan. That's 11 minutes with an average speed right around 25 miles per hour. Some other main routes out of the city, the Beltline to Janesville, that's 27 minutes with an average speed of around 70 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic. We'll talk about a very busy outdoor weekend coming up and the chances for some showers this weekend as well in your first alert forecast.
Lots of stuff going on outside, so
absolutely.
We'll get that forecast from you in a few minutes. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. First at 4, President Trump said today the June 12th summit in Singapore with North Korea is back on.
The president met with North Korea's former spy chief at the White House this afternoon. Molangi has more details from the White House.
President Trump announced the summit between him and Kim Jong-un is back on.
You people are going to have to travel because you'll be in Singapore on June 12th.
The announcement followed a face-to-face meeting with North Korean Vice Chairman Kim Young-chol, who hand-delivered a letter from Kim Jong-un.
Really, this was a letter presentation that ended up being a 2-hour conversation.
Kim Jong-chol spent 2 days in talks with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in New York, where the two sides hashed out details of the summit. The U.S. is looking for verifiable and irreversible denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, while North Korea wants economic sanctions lifted. President Trump downplayed expectations for the meeting.
It'll be a beginning, I don't say, and I've never said it happens in one meeting. You're talking about years of hostility, years of problems.
The president's announcement comes after he backed out of the summit because of threats made from Pyongyang. But he says now that's all forgotten.
I think we're over that, totally over that, and now we're going to deal, and we're going to really start a process.
Preparations for the summit have been ongoing in North Korea and Singapore. Molulengi, WISC News 3.
Kim Young-chol becomes the most senior North Korean dictator to the White House since Vice Marshal Jo Myung-rak visited President Clinton in 2000.
3 people are in custody tonight after leading police on a chase through Fitchburg, Madison, and Monona. Fitchburg police found a car reported stolen out of North Dakota and tried to stop it. The car sped away, reaching speeds of 90 miles per hour on the Beltline. When they reached Stoughton Road in Monona, police say they spun out and hit another car. Police arrested 1 man there, but 2 other people ran away, but eventually police caught up with them.
Today marks another crash on I-3990, one of at least 5 crashes in the construction zone this week alone. Around 8:30 this morning, troopers responded to a crash near Stoughton involving 2 semis and 6 cars. Investigators say traffic began to slow down and a semi-truck was hit from behind. The semi was pushed into one car, which was pushed into another car, blocking both traffic lanes. A secondary crash happened behind the first one.
There was 2 rear-end collisions that happened in that work zone. So people following too close, there's sudden brake lights for whatever reason, and people following too closely having the rear-end collisions.
1 person was injured in that second crash, but declined EMS services. The state's Department of Transportation says between 50 and 60,000 vehicles travel through that work zone every day.
Bail is set for the man accused of driving a semi under the influence and hitting a school bus. 42-year-old Wayne Murphy of Indianapolis was in court via video from the Columbia County Jail. He was arrested last week after he crashed his truck into a bus full of students parked on the side of I-39 outside Lodi. 26 people were hurt in the crash. Prosecutors say blood tests show he had both opioids and benzos in his system while driving the multi-ton truck. A judge gave Murphy a $35,000 bail. The
search for a suspected cop killer has ended in Tennessee. After 2 days on the run, Stephen Wiggins was captured after a sharp-eyed state trooper spotted him on the edge of a wooded area. Wiggins has been one of Tennessee's most wanted men since Wednesday when Dixon County Sergeant Daniel Bayer was found dead in his patrol car. Investigators identified Wiggins after viewing video on Baker's body camera.
I think he just simply ran off into the woods. He was able to hide for an extended period of time.
Wiggins was taken into custody without incident. The sheriff said the handcuffs on him belonged to Sergeant Baker. Well, for many of the allergy sufferers in the Madison area, this season feels worse than others, and over-the-counter drugs just aren't working like they used to. There is a reason why you might be feeling that way, and it has everything to do with the snowy April that we had. Amanda Quintana is on the patio with the details. Amanda?
Yes, well, I'm either the best or the worst person in our newsroom to do this story today because I was sneezing, getting video of flowers all day. But I am one of many people who are getting hit pretty hard with these allergy symptoms. Now, the reason why is because this season started so late. It started about a month later than the average start time. The cold and snow we had in May prevented plants from pollinating, so the season didn't really start until about the beginning of May, and allergists are calling this a very unique year.
We had a very rapid increase in pollen levels, going from really nothing to having fairly high levels in a very short period of time, and people went from having no symptoms to having pretty significant symptoms.
Dr. Moss says this is not the worst year, but pollen counts are very high, specifically in the last 2 weeks with tree pollen like oak and walnut. While about 1 in 5 people in the U.S. suffer from allergies, here in the Midwest and especially in Madison, it could feel a little worse since there's such a large variety of pollen here. Now, this is also one of the wettest Mays, and that affects this as well. So those rainy days are kind of a break, a temporary break for people like me who are suffering. But of course, the rain is helping to grow plants, and then once the rain stops, more pollen, more sneezing, all of that.
It is a vicious cycle. Amanda, why don't you come inside away from the
before
pollen?
I sneeze.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Amanda. When we come back, are you tired of your old peeling license plate?
They are testing digital license plates now. We'll find out how they work when Live at 4 continues. Well, California is the first state to begin selling digital license plates.
They're called the R plate. Neville Boston says his digital license plate can display urgent messages, for example, if the car is stolen, or to share details of an Amber Alert. Plus, he says no more trips to the DMV.
Simplifying registration. That's what we were looking to do. It's just simplify the registration process.
The device costs nearly $700 with a $7 monthly fee. Right now, the plates are legal in Florida, Texas, and Arizona, with more states on the horizon. Drivers are alerted if someone tries to steal the 2-pound device. A built-in GPS system keeps tabs on its location, and through an app, users can add their own DMV-approved backgrounds. They can add customized messages, and you can pay tolls and parking with this thing. Eventually, ads may even be allowed when the car is stopped.
Yes, of course they will.
Brave new world.
The job market fired on all cylinders in May. According to the Labor Department, the economy grew by 223,000 jobs last month. That blew past expectations. Still more good news. Pay also improved, and the unemployment rate fell to 3.8%, the lowest level in 18 years. And those numbers were met with open arms on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials added 219 points today to end the week lower at 24,635. The NASDAQ Composite Index was up 112, and the S&P 500 gained 29. Well, in the mood for a good laugh, the Second City Touring Company from Chicago is at Overture tonight with their new show, Look Both Ways Before Talking.
One of the cast members is Madison native and West High School graduate Terrence Carey. When Terrence went to West, Ed Holmes was the principal at West High School. Ed is now Director of Diversity and Inclusion at Overture. Great to see both of you. Welcome to Live at 4.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome home, Terrence. This must be a pinch yourself moment to be back at home, to be on Overture stage with Second City.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels great. It feels amazing to be here and just having a lot of friends and family supporting me. Ed Holmes came through it and got Second City to come to Madison and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
How tough was it to get into Second City?
It was really tough. I did a lot of failing before I initially got on. I auditioned 3 times before I got on, and I was just my 3rd time, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this. I just gotta
and some of the people that have come out of that troupe is just amazing.
Yeah, there's a long list of alumni that came through there who made it to SNL and
movies and
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you move to Chicago right after you graduated from high school and started auditioning right away?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, went to Columbia. I went to graduated from West and went to Columbia College Chicago. I did their acting program, and while I was in school, I was auditioning for plays outside of school and doing also school plays and sketches and doing improv shows.
So Ed, you were the principal when this guy was in high school.
Oh, I bet you can tell stories.
Oh, I have a number. So this is a live show, though, right?
Yeah. Did you see talent back then?
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember Terrence as a guy that was, always, trying new things and always engaged with school. And he was a member of Multico, which was a group that went out and talked about cultural difference and that kind of thing to the elementary school. So Terrence was always kind of out there and connecting with the schools and kids and peers and even adults.
Oh, you must be so proud of him.
I'm incredibly proud of Terrence. Incredibly proud.
So he goes from high school to Overture. I mean, he's following you.
Absolutely, he's following me around.
I'm trying to be like him, honestly.
That's a good role model to have.
Tell us about this show. What is it? Is it improv, sketch comedy like normal Second City shows, or tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, without giving away too much, it's a lot of sketch and improv material in there. I wrote some pieces in there, a lot of original, or 30% original stuff, and then there's a lot of archive material, so stuff that old alumni of the Second City stages created for this show.
You've been on some TV shows, a couple of movie clips?
Just mostly TV shows and commercials. And
you like that better, or you like the improv?
I love them both. I love it all. Yeah, I'm just trying to get, it's like a muscle I'm trying to work. Acting and improvising, and yeah, it's a different art. When you go from stage to camera. Camera's very small, so you have to be very aware of everything you do. And stage is you got to be big so that people in the back row can see you, feel you, and hear you.
Oh, I think improv. I can't even imagine how stressful it must be. I mean, you have to be spontaneous and funny. I mean, it must be an incredible wild ride.
Yeah, it's crazy, but when you're doing it with people that you love and you trust, it's a lot of fun.
So what would be the best hope? L.A., New York?
SNL?
Oh, all of it. Let me get all of it, please. L.A., California, hit me up. I'm free. No, I mean, honestly, my dream is to just travel. I want to be able to, I want to go to New York. I want to go to L.A. I would love to be on SNL. Yeah, whatever I can get. And I would love to just also go international with it, too. Something where I'm able to just travel.
Well, you probably don't even understand how inspiring you are, but I'm sure there are kids at West who are watching you and looking up to you and realizing that dreams do come true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and I try to have that on my shoulders, understand that people are watching me and I am being an influencer. Yeah. So I do. Yeah.
And you play football? You're a big guy.
Yeah, no, that's my little brother, my little big brother, actually, my little big brother.
Right. So, in charge of diversity Overture, you see more and more diversity in the arts?
Absolutely. I think that the idea of having Terrence as a kind of hometown hero coming back with Second City is an opportunity to engage the community around Overture and some of the acts and performances that we're bringing in. And so we're breaking down some of those barriers that we, kind of felt, and the reason that I was brought on to Overture to, make folks feel more welcome and included. And so this is a perfect opportunity, and so I'm excited for what I'm doing at Overture in terms of creating this welcoming and open environment, and to have Terrence be a part of that process is really important to me.
Gonna see him tonight on stage?
Absolutely. I will be right there. I will be right there.
Break a leg.
Have a great show. Welcome home.
So
Great to see you. Good to see you too, Ed. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Second City's news show, Look Both Ways Before Talking, is tonight at 8 o'clock at Overture. Go to overture.org for tickets, and we'll be right back. Take a look at this. Really? Really? Police officers in China pull over a lot of vehicles, but this probably at first. They stopped a woman who was driving a bumper car in the southern city of Guiyang. Officers pulled her over and seized the goofy ride. It turns out the woman runs a bumper car business. She needed to transport the car to the shop and thought driving it would save time.
Well, you knew there was an explanation here.
I didn't know bumper cars were self-powering. I thought they had that little electric thing
Yeah, I
going
thought
on.
that they needed to kind of stay home in that sense.
Apparently not. You go.
Awesome. It is Friday, June 1st. It is Leave the Office Early Day. And in honor of that, bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
See you later.
And there's our offices of the management. All empty.
Everybody's gone.
Everybody's gone.
The receptionist up front is gone.
Doors all locked.
Yep, we're here. It's the first day of June. It is June Dairy Month in Wisconsin, so happy June Dairy Month.
And what goes better than milk than donuts? Embrace your inner Homer Simpson. National Donut Day started in 1938 by Chicago's Salvation Army to bring in funds during the Great Depression.
Oh, look who's back.
Donuts show up and then he comes back.
I mean, donuts bring me back. They bring me back from the brink.
Donuts.
And we brought back the 70s as far as the weather is concerned. No more 90s to speak of.
Bell-bottoms and tie-dye, not that 70s.
Woo, peace and love, everybody. That's more the 60s. Anyway, we'll talk about this nice weather, a chance for some showers this weekend as well in your First Alert forecast in just a few minutes. Good afternoon. I hope everyone's having a great Friday so far. As May temperatures go, we are in 8th place overall with 64.6 degrees as our average temperature for the month of May. Just a couple of degrees separate us from the warmest May all time. But May is over, folks, and it's not coming back for another 11 months and about 30 days or so. But we had one of the coldest Aprils on record, one of the warmest Mays on record. So what's happening in June, right? Well, our normals are in the 70s to start and then low 80s by the end. The extremes are, well, pretty extreme. 101 back in 1988. I don't think we're dealing with any 90s or even triple digits anytime soon. And the coldest back in 1972 in the 30s. I don't think we're dealing with that either, although some cooler nighttime temperatures are on the way. The Climate Prediction Center has an outlook for the summer, and basically warmer or colder than average, we really don't know. There's an equal chance of both of those, so that doesn't really tell us that much. But we do have an above average chance of seeing maybe just a little bit more rain than we normally would on a typical summer. What else is new, especially after the May that we've had, right? High temperature trend. We are in the 70s for the next 4 days. In fact, a little bit cooler than average for this weekend with a chance of some showers and thunderstorms. But then we're back into the 80s by the middle of next week. Downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, there seems to be some sort of bug on the Edgewater Skycam. And since it is the first of the month, that is officially a June bug. Don't quote me on that, and don't fact check me either. Today, 77, our high temperature a little bit above normal for this time of year. Temperatures across other spots in southern Wisconsin, 57 in Milwaukee. Boy, that is a bruising lake breeze right there. 66 in Waukesha, 81 toward Lone Rock, and 85 in Prairie du Chien, so warmer across southwestern Wisconsin. That is a doozy of a temperature change, especially in Milwaukee, about 31 degrees cooler compared to yesterday at this time. Dew point's still a little bit high, so the humidity is still a little bit up. However, because temperatures are down, it feels a little bit better outside. Wind speeds, you can see that lake breeze at about 20 miles per hour in Sheboygan right now. Doppler track is pretty quiet, so don't disturb it. We'll maybe get a little bit of rain as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches closer to the Great Plains right now. Hopefully we don't have to worry about any of that. Now, Festa Italia this weekend is looking pretty good tonight. However, as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening, our thunderstorm chances start to ramp up. I do think we'll get a little bit better by the time we get to Sunday. Our time lapse in Madison, we started with very sunny skies, then the clouds came through, but the sun was not to be deterred, folks. Lots of sunshine right now on our WISC-TV Skycam overlooking Madison. Future track showing things getting a little bit more stormy as we head into Saturday. The clouds on the increase as well. So tonight, no problems, but especially as we head into late tomorrow into early Sunday, that's when some heavy pockets of rain could be coming through, and high pressure replaces that as we head into Sunday. Tonight, partly cloudy and cooler with temperatures near 50. As we head into tomorrow, lots of sunshine to start, but then the clouds and thunderstorm chances start to ramp up. Future track showing things in the 50s overnight. That will be the first time in the 50s once we wake up tomorrow morning in over a week. So that's going to feel great outside. Some showers and storms come our way late on Saturday into early Sunday morning, but pretty close to, or pretty quickly, I should say, out of here by Sunday morning. Rain potential about a ½ an inch to an inch of rain from those showers and thunderstorms. So your 7-day forecast showing things staying in the 70s for the next couple of days. We're into the 80s by the middle of next week with some more slight chances of thunderstorms, and then closer to 90 degrees by the time we get to day 10 on that forecast, but no 90s in there, just 70s and 80s, pretty typical for this time of year.
But to be able to turn the air off and get some air in the house, that'll
It's going to be so
great.
nice. Great sleeping weather coming up tonight.
And the rain's pretty good timing, just mostly overnight.
Right, mostly overnight, and we don't have to worry about any deluges, or at least at the present time.
All right.
Good news.
So not a bad weekend.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Dave. Still to come at 4, it's the longest bike bridge in North America, and you can celebrate its completion this weekend.
We'll take you to the Lower Yahara River Bridge and Boardwalk Village when Live at 4 continues.
Come join
That is the place to be on a Friday afternoon. Looking a little busy at the UW Memorial Union Terrace. Beautiful afternoon.
Are those docks that full?
Look at that. Yeah, I think that, like, it's hard to see from this vantage point, but I think so. It looks that way. Madison and McFarland are hosting a big party tomorrow to celebrate the completion of the Lower Yahara River Trail and Boardwalk Bridge. The
first Parks and Trails Unite Festival stretches from Lake Farm County Park in Madison to McDaniel Park in McFarland. And Dane County Parks Director Darren Marsh joining us live from Lake Farm Park. Welcome to Live at 4, Darren.
Thank you very much. Nice to hear from you, Mark and Susan.
Great to see you.
So this trail is getting raves from everyone who uses it.
It's outstanding. Everybody has to come out and see the trail. I know a lot of people have already been out on the trail, but come to this festival and see it again, because each of the venues on either side of Lake Wabisa are going to have an event and have activities for everyone tomorrow. This is all about parks and trails and how they unite our community, and hopefully everybody likes parks and trails, and this is the event for them.
For those of us who haven't had the opportunity to see it yet, tell us about it.
Well, this trail, this 2.5-mile trail that connects with the Capital City Trail and goes into McFarland, has a 1.5-mile boardwalk that spans over the northern end of Lake Wabisa. So it gives people a sense of getting right down to the lake, and it connects a community, McFarland, that's been basically cut off from the trail systems here in Madison and that connect to the rest of the state. And not only McFarland, but the Stoughton area and southeastern Wisconsin. So this is a really unique project. It's really met a lot of goals and aspirations for a lot of people, and it really shows how we can connect and reach over barriers.
It looks like a pretty easy ride, too. No big hills or anything.
No, you're absolutely right. The trail is made for everybody. It's fully accessible. There's areas, there's amenities on both sides, there's restrooms, there's places to picnic. Once you get on the trail, though, it's 12 feet wide, going quite a distance, so you've got to keep flowing through there. There's some observation decks at the river and some fishing areas, but it's a flow.
But runners, it is for runners as well, or only for bicyclists?
Oh, absolutely. It's been great for runners, hikers, people with strollers. It's been outstanding. If you go down to this bridge or this trail at any time of the day, you're going to find people traversing it constantly.
So what's all going on tomorrow?
Oh my gosh. Well, right now you caught us with all hands on deck. We got people mowing out here. We're putting out picnic tables, putting up tents. I just got to give a shout out to all the staff and all the volunteers that are out here all day long getting this place ready to go. They've done an outstanding job. And our sponsors. Our sponsors have stepped forward, and we've got a free event for everybody. There's no charge here. And if we do make any proceeds, there's a beer garden, there's some donation areas. If we make any proceeds, this is going to go to support and build capacity with our volunteers.
Well, what a spectacular resource for our area, and I hope everybody checks it out very soon. Darren, thanks for being with us today. Have a great day tomorrow.
Have a great weekend, Darren. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
When we come back, from Victor Hugo's novel to a Disney animated film.
The Hunchback of, is it Notre Dame or Notre Dame? Is that the big debate? It hits, we'll ask Michael when he comes up. It hits the Overture stage tonight, and we'll check out the Capital City Theater's production with our Michael Bruno when Live at 4 continues.
Good afternoon. Here is your first alert traffic update, taking a live look at the Beltline and Todd Drive. We're seeing slow go in both directions, as you might expect on a Friday on the Beltline. We can see across Dane County, though, not looking at any accidents or incidents to report right now. However, the Beltline showing up yellow and red, as you might expect. Average speed in those slowdowns around 10 to 20. Upwards of 25 miles per hour in the lucky spots. So here are drive times, Verona Road to John Nolan. That's 14 minutes, an average speed right around 20 miles per hour. Next, we'll head to the other side of the road, John Nolan to Verona Road. That same stretch, 9 minutes with an average speed of around 30 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic.
All right, Dave, thank you. Happy birthday, Koku Istanbulova. She was born on this date, June 1st, 1889. That makes this her 129th birthday. Not many people can say they've lived in 3 centuries. She grew up in Chechnya and didn't lead a leisurely life. She worked in the fields harvesting cotton, wheat, and corn. She lives with her grandson now after losing her husband just 10 years ago. He also lived into his 120s. Koku is believed to be the oldest known person ever.
Boy, that's incredible.
129 years old.
Wow, it's amazing.
Well, Capital City Theater's production of The Hunchback of Notre Dame is based on the Victor Hugo novel and songs from the Disney animated film.
The production has more than 20 full-length songs and features a cast of 50 with a 23-piece orchestra on stage. Our own Michael Bruno goes backstage at Overture to check it out.
It has the songs from the Disney animated film from the mid-90s, and Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz have added several new songs to it. It's been reorchestrated, and the score is absolutely glorious. It's one of my favorite shows.
This is a beautiful cast. The ensemble is such a beautiful group of people. The choir is gorgeous in the sound. I know you heard it earlier. They're just so powerful. The orchestra is amazing. And Julian Decker is doing such a beautiful job at portraying Quasimodo. You can see that he's taken the time to empathize and have compassion for this character that he plays. So it makes my job very easy.
There is no prosthetics, so it's all done, the contorting of the body and the face is all done by the actor playing Quasimodo. And so I've spent a lot of time exploring that and finding great nuance and breathing life into this character that at times in the show can go kind of into, it can be a downer. And there's so much joy and positivity that he possesses. And so to explore the text over and over and kind of find that.
Esmeralda is the source of all the problems, of all the conflict that happens in this story. She is the main source of affection, attraction, love between these 3 male main characters.
So basically what you'll see is the orchestra on stage, 24-piece orchestra, and then a full choir in the back. And then we have about 14 feet of plain space for the story to unfold. And so some technical elements are a little scaled down, but the story is there, and that's what's most important. This is a little more staged than other staged concert versions, for sure. And that's just the epicness of this story.
That's quite a
Looks
cast.
incredible.
Michael's here now. A staged concert, what does that mean?
Well, everybody's on stage, and it's kind of like a concert reading, but they actually have some movement and some action, so it's not a full-blown musical where you see set changes and people changing costumes. So it's the entire cast, it's the entire show, but the people are actually doing the things from either from their seats, or you saw the incredible chorus is in the back of the stage for the whole time.
So they tell the story through the songs.
Correct. Correct. And there's some stage combat, some stage fighting, some choreography that Brian's put in there. So it's a little bit more than just people standing, you know, singing from their books. Like sometimes you see a stage reading of the musical, and the leads all just kind of stand there with the scores in front of them. This is all memorized, and it's all done as a staged musical version of the show.
And some local actors involved?
Most of them are local actors. There are 4 actors from New York who came in. The 2 leads that we talked to who are incredibly talented. And he actually was with the original concept producers of this when they were putting it together. He was instrumental in putting the character of the Hunchback in when they were developing this in La Jolla, California, when they first were deciding to put the show together.
And great songs.
Oh, it's really wonderful songs, beautiful music, all just really well done.
Alan Menken, those are just, I mean, you're going to sing along.
Exactly, and great orchestra. The orchestra is fantastic, and Andy Abrams always puts together just great talent.
Yes, he does. Yeah, it really looks wonderful.
All right, so it is tonight, 7:30, tomorrow, 7:30, Sunday at 2, The Hunchback of
Notre Dame in the Capitol Theater.
By the Capital City.
By the Capital City Theatra.
Get that down.
Yes.
All right, so next week?
Next week we'll be going backstage at the New Jerry Awards, formerly known as the Actor Who Shall Not Be Named Awards, for all the high school musicals that we've been reviewing. So we'll go backstage and see some of the winners of the leading actor and actresses.
And they hit the big stage at Overture.
They hit the big stage at Overture on June 10th, Sunday evening.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, and we've previewed some of we've showcased some of these talents on your backstage.
We have, and I think we'll be actually seeing 4 of the kids that we actually saw that we did pieces with will be interviewed for that on Sunday.
Yeah, just all the talent we've seen over the past year. It's hard to pick.
It is very hard to pick, but it'll be good.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Have a good weekend, Michael. Thank you.
We'll be right back with the final check your forecast. Overall, not a bad weekend.
No, not at all, especially compared to last weekend when we were in the 90s.
Lord.
Nowhere near that this weekend. A live look in Madison at the sunny skies. This evening is beautiful, folks. Get out and enjoy it. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s, especially closer to southwestern Wisconsin. Day planner for tomorrow starting off in the 50s for the first time in basically a week. Then we are in the low 70s for highs with plenty of sunshine.
And maybe a late evening Storm, a lot of activity outside.
Right. As we head into Saturday night, the storms start to come in.
Keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
And Monday here on Live at 4, Dr. Zorba Pastor will be along to answer your medical questions live.
And film critic Will Loper will be here. He'll tell us what he thinks of the new movie, Adrift. That looks frightening.
Yes.
That's coming up Monday on Live at 4. It's Friday. That means it's time to check in with Lola for the best animal stories of the week.
Here's this week's edition of Lola's Lowdown. This week on the Lowdown, move along.
A pregnant kitty.
And an airport arrival, puppy style.
But first, the Belgrade Zoo this week welcomed one of nature's rarest animals, a white baby bison. The animal is regarded holy by some Native American tribes. The baby was given a traditional Slavic female name, Dusanka, from Dusa, meaning soul. Dusanka was fathered by another white bison at the zoo. The new calf is healthy and already weighs almost 90 pounds. Just 1 in 10 million bison births produce a white calf, and Native Americans regard them as holy and a sign of good luck.
Speaking of holy cow, it's that time of year when cows don headdresses and bells and climb up mountain roads to their summer pastures. Residents of small villages in the south of France line the streets to see the decorated bovines as farmers herd them to greener pastures. After spending the winter in the valley, the animals find grass of better quality high in the mountains. Some walk more than 40 miles. It takes 2 days. Keep moving.
Tampa International Airport had a special delivery from a service dog named Eleanor Rigby. The 2-year-old lab went into labor while her owner was waiting